Sir, can you please explain to us briefly what yoga is?
One of the simplest ways to describe yoga is as a change for the better, a change that affects all parts of the being. Any change for the better is what we call improvement. Now, improvement looks like a simple word, but actually it can be an endless process, because after some improvement has been made, one finds that there is room for further improvement. And therefore, this process can go on, and it can become a lifelong process. Of course, the journey is enjoyable. It may be long, but it is enjoyable, and every step on the way gives us something. The things that we are looking for, like happiness and good health and so on, and a sense of fulfillment, all that comes. But the fact is that yoga can be a long, endless, seemingly endless journey, which can go on throughout life. And whenever we are faced with a long journey, there are a few things we think about. One of them is that we try to use the best available technology. For example, if we have to go to a place which is just a kilometer away, we may decide to walk. But if we have to go, say, 100 kilometers away, we would use a car or a train. And if we have to go to the other side of the globe, we'll settle for nothing short of an aeroplane. So yoga is also a long journey, and therefore one of the things we think of is use the best available technology, particularly for keeping the body in good shape. And that is important because we should be able to sustain that journey, and therefore the material base that we have, that is our body, should be in a good shape. And for that, again, we use the best available technology, and we have a variety of time-tested techniques in the asanas and pranayamas, which keep the body in good shape. And there is enough evidence to show that these are much better than some of the ordinary exercises like walking, jogging, swimming, or cycling. And therefore, one way to look at these asanas and pranayamas is as high-level technology for keeping the bodily instrument and to some extent also the mind in good shape. And for the mind, we have another specific technique, again an advanced technique, which we call meditation. So all these techniques put together are basically improving the performance of the body and the mind, which is basic, so that we can sustain this long journey, perform it in the most efficient way. So this is how these techniques, the asanas, pranayamas, and meditation, fit into yoga. Another thing that we think about when we have to make a long journey is to choose the best possible route. A route which has minimum red lights, maximum flyovers, and minimum chances of a traffic jam. So in yoga, that corresponds to renouncing the world. Because when we are in the world, living an ordinary worldly life, then there are so many responsibilities, compulsions, obligations, responsibilities, conflicts, temptations, and so on and so forth, which may slow us down. And if we renounce the world, all the problems associated with the world disappear automatically. But then that is something which only a select few can do. But a certain degree of detachment from the world is a part of the yogic journey. One might say that why not renounce altogether? Firstly, only a select few can do it. Secondly, it also has its other side. There's a pros and cons to everything. And while it may make the journey faster, it does not give us a chance to test how much progress we have made. Because unless we are grappling with the problems of worldly life, we would not really know how much progress has been made. For example, if there is no temptation around, then one would not know whether one has been able to overcome temptation. Say, to once again go to that example of journey on the road, if we have chosen a route which has all the flyovers and there's minimum possibility of traffic jams, then we'll be just going from one flyover to the next. But on one hand, we will not be able to test our ability to negotiate a traffic jam. Secondly, we'll miss also all the cities and villages and towns and the scenery which we may come across if we don't use the flyover, and that might also have something to teach us, all that we observe while negotiating the traffic jam. So there are pros and cons to everything, but all the same, This is how we can understand why at least a select few decide to renounce the world when they are on the path of yoga. Apart from these two things, using high-level technology and avoiding traffic jams, another thing that suggests itself to us when we are on a long journey is that we can get the guidance from somebody who has been on the same route earlier, who has traveled the same path earlier. And that is where the guru enters the picture. So we look for a guru who can guide us on the path. So this would be one simple way of looking at yoga, at least some aspects of it. And if you have any further questions, you may ask me now.
Thank you, sir. Your examples and metaphors that you used, they were self-explanatory. So that is it. It answered my question. Thank you.
Okay. If anytime later also you have any questions, you're most welcome.